What is going on, soccer fans? Welcome to the 8th episode of the Soccer Shots Greater Hartford, Central Connecticut podcast. My name is Seth Willerziak, and this is my co-host, Shannon Perry, who is the owner of the Greater Hartford, Central Connecticut Soccer Shots franchise. Shannon, how you doing today?
I'm great, Seth. How are you? Looking forward to today.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
doing fantastic.
That's good. That's good. I'm doing well myself. Can't complain. We got a very interesting topic today, but before we get into that, just wanted to get your thoughts on our last podcast, episode 7, with Coach Jess. What did you think of that one?
That was a lot of fun, right? So Jess is um, she's a great coach. She was really silly during the podcast. We had a lot of fun
Yeah,
moments, and yeah, it's always interesting. She thought she was going to have no personality, but she obviously did a great job, and
she did. She did.
I like incorporate kind of some of what she's doing as a PhD student into bringing that into Soccer Island, just about affecting people. But yeah, she was that was maybe our craziest coach interview there.
Yeah, no, I had a lot of fun with that one. That was a good one. Uh, so soccer fans out there, if you haven't caught that one, it's on our YouTube channel. It's the last episode, part of our Meet the Coaches series. It's part 3. Go check it out because that was a really good episode. So without further ado, let's get into it here. So today we have a very interesting topic. I'm super excited to talk about it. I know you are, Shannon. Today's topic is about the best coaching tips and tricks when on Soccer Island and the different strategies coaches can use to really engage all the kids. So I've come up with 5 questions for um, kind of both of us. I mean, I'm going to ask you, but we'll have a conversation about it. I'll obviously chime in and give my thoughts. But yeah, let's get into those questions. So, with the first question here, what is the number one coaching trick you use to grab kids' attention right away on Soccer Island and keep them focused?
Wow, that is a great question. Yeah, I don't know if there's a number one trick. I think I guess a few I've gone back to over the years. Yeah, I find that most of my tricks probably involve me doing something ridiculous or stupid, so that their attention is on me.
Yeah.
Um, when I first started, I was so nervous. I would introduce myself as Coach Shannon. They would say, "Hi, Coach Shannon," and Soccer Shots, and then they would say Shannon Soccer Shots, and then I would say, "Oh, that's really great, but can you say Shannon Soccer Shots really fast? Shannon Soccer Shots, Shannon Soccer Shots, Shannon Soccer Shots, Soccer Shots." And then they always thought
Yeah,
that was the,
I've seen
the
you do that
greatest
before.
thing.
Yeah.
So that for me, things like I think that's always I probably do that every first session I've ever done.
Yeah, it's a
Combs
good
on
one.
the ears kind of thing.
Yep.
Singing
Yep.
for the younger ones, I I sing the if you want to play soccer, use your feet, stop, stop. I sing that song.
Nice.
And then I know you've seen me. I think when it's time to score a goal, and we take turns scoring a goal, I always go first, and I celebrate like there's no tomorrow. And actually, this past Sunday, I did. I'm a little sore right now, Seth, because I scored the goal and I slid on my and it was ridiculous. But I'm my off. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, there's a myriad of things, but I think usually in my case, it's usually doing something that I look ridiculous or stupid or silly that gets them to laugh and focus on me. But
Right.
the other one I've been doing is the countdown. That's been my biggest thing this year is the countdown,
I was
right?
just
So
gonna bring that
so
up.
you get
Yep.
back to the balls before I count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you get but what and they always race back
Yeah.
to get there. That's been my thing this year.
Yeah. I was just gonna bring that up as mine. That's probably my most famous one that I personally like to use, especially with the classic kids. Um, they they have that little like competitive edge or something to them, and it always works. Anytime, I want them to get back to the blue beach or to the yellow beach, or just to kind of focus up, I'll always do a 5 second countdown with. So what I do is I'll be like, okay, who can show me control in 5 seconds? Five, four, and then they're all like scrambling, racing, and they
Right.
go and they show me control in like 5 seconds, and I'll count down, and it like gets their attention right away, gets them doing control, and it allows me to explain the next game or activity that we're gonna do. So I I would say I almost use that every single time as like my attention grabber, because it works. It's always worked with the classic kids, and yeah, it's just a really good way to kind of get their attention back.
Do you have them beat you? Like, can you do it faster than Coach F to race you to control or do something like that? Or you just say that?
I I haven't thought of that. I'll do control myself, like just right away, but then I'll be like, oh, who can show control just like Coach Ethan? Five, four, three. But the rate, that's an interesting. I should do the rate. Yeah, see, like be like, oh, who can beat Coach Seth in controller? Do it the quickest. That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I find that they always think they can beat me or something, and then I'll incorporate that into the words of the day we've used. All right, you got to be really confident if you want to beat Coach Chan. Can you get there? Can you beat him to this? Or you got to be really, those
yeah.
kinds of things. But yeah, the times they always they seem to be, yeah, they seem to work, because they want to get back and they want to. Kids love the race. They love the race, right?
They do. They do. Yeah. So for any of our coaches watching or aspiring coaches out there, use the countdown. It's a good way to grab the attention of kids and get them focused back up. Well, that was awesome. So I
And
think
you and you can modify that countdown. Your countdown could be the eight. Have them do it before you get to Z, A, B, C, D. A couple of weeks ago, I sang "Mary
yeah.
Had a Little Lamb."
Yep.
You gotta be back before I finish "Mary Had a Little Lamb."
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. There's so many ways you can
Yeah,
modify it for
there's so many
sure.
different
Yeah.
ways to do it. Give them a
Exactly.
change.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what,
that's
like
it.
maybe whatever the theme is of the week,
Right.
you can relate it back to that. Yeah, absolutely. No, but that's good. I think that's one of the best ways to really just get the kids focused up and get their attention back to you. So that's awesome. So let's hop into the second question here. That was really good. The second question is, how do you balance teaching real soccer skills while still making sure every session feels like fun and not just drills?
um, I don't tell them they're actually learning real soccer skills. They're getting tools to handle whatever adventure is coming their way. I did this weekend, was shooting power kicks, and they had to
Yep.
put out the fire in the fire blade, and so you're telling the kids, the ball's your hose, and the way to make the hose go powerful is to hit it with your laces, right? So
Yep.
they just want to know how to create that powerful hose. In my head, I want them to kick it with their laces. So I explain why, explain to kids why they're doing something. Why you want to kick it with, because that'll have a lot of power and the hose will really get powerful,
Yep.
and do your toes. So, I do things like that. I try to, the pullback is another one where I usually don't. Some coaches do. I don't usually say, "Oh, this is going to make you a good soccer player. You got to be able to do this when you play soccer." I usually say, "Oh, this will help you get
Yeah.
away from," or you want to, how are you going to get away from the bear? You're going to change direction with a pullback, right? So now you can get away. Then you're going to change what? Change speed, and then you can get away. So they're learning those tools to get away from, to deal with the adventure they've got on Soccer Island. And then
Yeah.
usually I try to, before the scrimmage. Remember how we talked about pullbacks? It will also help you get away from other players on the soccer field, so that
Yeah.
part. So
Related. Yep.
they already know how to do it. Now they know how to, giving them a place to apply it,
Yeah.
elsewhere. And I know we've talked about this, but um, the whole dribbling thing on their, instead of going slow, I started, going on their tippy toes, kind of which gets them to go on the balls of their feet. And if they go using their laces, as opposed to just walking, kind of thing. So you got to be quiet. So they're being quiet. They're on their balls, their feet with their toes, moving it around. Quick tippy toes.
Yeah.
So they're learning the dribbling skills, that way as well. So I just try to, again, trying to make it fun. I think as a, soccer coach, and those of us who play soccer, licensing, we're aware of what it should look like and what they should, but now if you get them to apply that to, maybe apply your soccer skills to something else, like getting away from the scary
Yeah.
bear or something like that. But
Yeah. No, I completely agree with that. That's what I like to try and do as well, just relate it to the theme. Yeah. Like, oh, gotta get away from the aliens in outer space, or gotta get away from, yeah, the grizzly bear or whatever, anything like that. So and then, yeah, like you said, in the scrimmage, kind of then bring it back and be like, okay, like, so we used the pullback or the step over to get away from the alien, but now we can use it to get away from the other team in our scrimmage here. But
right.
I point, because it was something that I've just noticed over just coaching a lot of sessions is um it it almost seems like it's kids, they, especially at that age, like they want to impress you, is it
Mm,
was something that I noticed. Like they want to impress you. So like for me, when I'm showing a new skill, I obviously always demonstrate the new skill, whether it's big kicks, step over, pull back, and then I'll if maybe the next week we're reviewing the skill, I'll be like, okay, who can show me how to do a step over? Who remembers? And the kids are like, oh, Coach Seth, watch me do the step over. And they'll do the step over. They'll do, like, and because they want to prove to coach, like, oh yeah, look, see, I can do it. They want to impress me. Um, so in those situations, like, I don't even really need to give them a scenario. Like, I don't need
yeah.
to, all I need to say is, hey, who can show me this? And they're all raising their hands. Coach Seth, look at me. And I'll point out and I'll be like, oh, Jimmy, great job. Like, that was a great step over. Then Joe might be like, hey, Coach Seth, look at my step over. And I'll be like, let me see, Joe. And so it's just interesting. It's funny how kids, like, um, they the scenarios are always helpful and can always be good, but on the other hand, they really just want to impress you and show you
Yeah,
that they're able to do
I
things.
think that's a great point. So I think one thing that the question was making it fun. I think what you're doing there is celebrating, and that
Yeah,
celebrating is fun, right? So they get a chance to impress you. Maybe you give them a high five, but you're saying the look on your face can be a celebration and can be fun for them. So you're celebrating their accomplishments, which makes it fun. You don't even need any imagination for that. Just celebrate,
exactly.
high five, and the look on their face. Yeah, that's a good one. And but they do want to impress you, right? And that's fun for
And
them.
that's, yeah.
Learning is fun, right? And
Yep.
learning mastery is fun. So we do. Sometimes you don't need to overthink it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's
yep,
good.
yeah. They, like, or anytime, like, if I'm doing like a big kick or something, and I show them, like, I'll be like, okay, look how much power I can get with my laces, and I'll do a big kick, and they're like, oh my gosh, that went so far. And they're like, Coach Seth, look at my big kick, and they'll do the big kick, and I'm
Right.
like, oh, that was awesome, and just big smile on their faces, like, they're, like you said, um, it's it's the celebration aspect of it that is what's making it fun for them. It's
Right.
me rewarding them, telling them, oh, that's a great job, that's awesome. Like, um, that sometimes, to me, makes more of an impact than um, you know having that imagination with the theme or whatever. Which, I'm not disregarding any of that, but I just think those little moments on Soccer Island just can make a kid who was not having fun to then having fun on Soccer Island. So
Yeah, I know we're kind of going on a little bit of a rabbit hole here, but you just made me think. Obviously, of all of our coaches have different degrees of imagination and how they like to coach, and I think we forget the power of the high five, the power of the celebration, the
yeah,
power of the reinforcement, which I would say that is a great tip. I know when you give one high five, every other kid is going to want one. Um, but that's also making it fun for them and stuff like so. If you're not a you're not imaginative, great person, there's a lot of other ways that you can connect with kids and making it fun for them. And sometimes I forget not to give enough high fives in the
Yeah.
process, and celebrate their accomplishments.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, I completely agree. So again, coaches out there that are listening, remember, always give the kids high fives, thumbs up, fist bumps, always encourage them. Because yes, the imagination piece is very important, but giving that positive reinforcement as well is
Yeah.
super important. So
Yeah.
yes, I do apologize. We did go on a little bit of a rabbit hole there, but I thought that was great to cover there. So that was awesome. So let's hop into the third question here. This is a good one. I'm curious to hear what you're gonna say about this one. What is a go-to game or activity you use when energy is low and you need to re-engage the kids fast? There's some interesting games out there. Let me just say.
Yeah, boy, it obviously depends a little bit on the group, but I would
For
say
sure.
there are two games that I go to consistently, and they're not in our current curriculum. Maybe there's three, sort of three. The one game is called Clean Up Your Room,
Oh, you
and
told me about this one.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so you have this game, especially if they're getting to 4A, even 3A, it doesn't matter, but you set up Soccer Island, and maybe you have half the players in their room on one side and the other half on the other side in the middle. And the object is, we probably all play this in form, is to get your soccer ball, your dirty laundry, into the other team's room. So you're just kicking
Mm-hmm.
the balls in the other rooms, and you got to turn around and find it. Now, it can be a little bit hectic, but how I do it, they just love this game. One, everybody's moving, but when I model it, I'll say, all right, this is Coach Shannon's dirty laundry. He's going to kick it over, and I'll take one kid who I know can kick. I'm kicking it over into Seth's room. Yeah, look at his dirty
Yeah,
room.
yeah.
And Coach Seth, he's got to kick. Oh, and I get all mad, and it goes back and forth. And for whatever
Yep.
reason, they just love that game. They're all running, they're chasing, kind of thing. And then the hardest thing about that game for me is to stop the game. So I have to say, stop. You got to fall on your belly or something like that. Then we count up
Right.
who's got more dirty laundry in their room, and I always go to the team. Say, what is going on over here? This
Mm-hmm.
is a disaster zone. No Elmo for 1 week or something like that until you get this
Yeah.
room cleaned up. And then, all right, there you give me that. That's always been a game I've gone to. Kids have always
Yeah, that's
loved
a
it.
good one.
And the other one, I think this was in the first or second season. I did, it's the Cookie Monster game where they're
Mm.
pretending their soccer balls are cookies, and I'm the Cookie Monster, or Shan the Cookie Man is some kid, and I'm trying to eat their cookie, and generally I make them do a pullback to get away, and all
Right.
that. I don't know what it is about that game, but they've always loved that game. And then the last one, anytime they get to kick a ball at a coach,
Oh
that
yeah. Oh
I'll do
yeah.
it before almost every session. I guess this week in the shooting one, the coach we were a fire. They put out all the small fires, and the coach is the big fire, and
I
they're firing the balls at the big fire, putting it to sleep.
I did that
And
this morning actually. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
right.
Yep,
So,
yep, yep.
those games where they've got to move and chase something is kind of what I got to. But clean up your room games, I usually do. I'll often do it the last day of the season, or if it's that kind of. But yeah, the kicking the ball, the coaches had a myriad of things. It used to be the coach was a bear, and they were bees dribbling around. They had to sting the bear with their soccer ball, so before it got the honey and all those kinds of things. So yeah,
Yeah.
those are things.
No, that's those are really good games right there. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
The
go ahead.
Pirates game.
Pirates game?
The Pirates game, when the balls are treasure. They're in the middle, and they got to go get some treasure or put it back into their treasure chest.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
And you can
yeah.
do so many different ways. And you have them make pirate sounds, and all this kind of thing. And they're going. That's always a fun one for me. And then in some of those games, like the pirate game or clean, I have them all go against me, and then
Mm-hmm.
again. But yeah, that's been I call it the pirate game. It probably has some other versions of it
Yeah.
as well.
No, that's good. Yeah. I have a few games that I just have been thinking of myself here. The first one was the one you were just saying, the kick the ball at the coach. I did that this morning. It was shooting and power kicks, and Coach Seth was the fire, and I told them that, okay, your soccer balls, they're not soccer balls anymore. They're water balls. They're water balls, and you have to put the fire out. So you got to kick the soccer balls at Coach Seth's feet, and their eyes light up. They're like, "Oh my gosh!" And then I'll be like, "Who thinks they're gonna be able to hit Coach Seth with their soccer ball?" Everyone raises their hand, and I'll be like, "No, no, I don't think any of you will." And they're like, "No, I am, I am." I'm like, "No, I don't think so." And then of course they obviously do, but that one's always a fun one. They love that. Um, I also like, there's a couple others. I mean, for me, What Time Is It, Mr. Fox is a classic.
Yeah, that's a good one.
They love that one. They love asking you, what time
What
is
time
it,
is it?
Mr.? And then, oh, you say 6 o'clock, 6 tiny kicks, and then dinner time, and they got to run away. They like
Always a
that
good
one a
one.
lot.
Always a good one.
I've done that one quite a few times. I think just a classic one that I use if like I'm really struggling to like, or if like a fun game that I'm doing is just not working out whatsoever, and like I just need something real quick, or just like a quick something to like fill some time. Just the classic red light, green light for me.
Red light,
It
green
just
light's
really
always a good one.
it gets the job done. It's quick, it's easy. Red light, stop. Yellow light, slow. Green light, go. And add a couple in there like purple light, silly dance, or whatever. Make it fun for the kids. But that one's always a good one that they enjoy. That if whatever game you were doing before wasn't working, you can do that, or you just need to fill some time. That one's good.
Yeah, that's a good one. I know a lot of coaches started to do that one, and so many different things. Like you said, different colors. You can purple light can be a crazy, whatever you want to be, a crazy dance, or
Yeah.
I don't know. You can make the color of the lights a detour light. You could have I was going to say green, but
Yeah.
an orange, where they've got to do a pullback and get away, and you can have them go different directions
Yep.
rather than just up and down. So yeah, and that's one they know. So a lot in the Mr. Fox or Ms. Fox, that's one a lot of the kids know already.
They know.
So you're
Yep.
just doing it with a soccer ball kind of
Yep.
thing, and the coaches know it, right? So every there's not one person that hasn't played red light, green light
Yeah.
in some form.
Exactly. Exactly. There was one other game that um it was like, I think it was like the Sleeping Dragon game or something, and like I I think I've only done it a couple times, but I remember it was like such a hit. It was in like last year's fall curriculum or something, and um I would be the Sleeping Dragon, um and I would be at the other side of Soccer Island, and I would literally get on the ground and pretend to sleep. And I would have cones and pennies like kind of all around me, which was my treasure. And the
Ah,
kids would have to do slow, tiny kicks
ah,
over to like the pennies and cones, pick up the treasure, and slowly and quietly bring it back to the blue beach, but without waking me up. And if they were too loud, I would get up, like, roar, and just like they'd all scream and run back to it's kind of like it's like a different version of What Time Is It, like
yeah,
Mr. and Mrs.
yeah.
Fox. But that one was always cool. They always like when the coach is a character. I feel,
Right,
or
right. You get in
some
the
sort of
character.
character.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
so
interesting
yeah.
that, getting back to your other question about next time. So it's, sir, I'll try to take the time. All right, how did you get away? So what was this? I won't say what was the soccer skill, but what was, to get away from that, you're going to have to change speed, or you have to do a
Yeah.
pullback. So if you can tell
Yeah.
them,
Yeah. Yeah.
I gave you this tool to be successful to get ahead. But that, yeah, yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Um,
No, there's so many games out there that you can do. It's to to really get the kids having fun and enjoying it. So you just
Yeah,
gotta find what
like
works.
we're coming up on Halloween. I think it was 1 or 2 seasons. I just made
Oh
up a
yeah.
game, incorporated it. We went trick or treating. So, we had somebody's house over in one corner of Soccer Island. We knocked
Yeah, you
I
told
act
me
like
this
I
one
opened the
before.
door and they had to
Yeah,
say trick or treat, and I would say trick, and then they would have to do a pullback or something, right? And they have to
that's
say
good.
thank you, and then
Yeah,
you change speed across the neighborhood into the other house, not trick or treat. Obviously, the
right.
step over trick. So in terms of engaging kids and all that, sometimes just kind of getting into their world a little bit.
Right.
Because all they were thinking about was Halloween. I knew that's all they were thinking. I could say anything, it was going to be about Halloween. So if it was outer space themed that week, I think we would have gone trick or treating in our spaceships or
Yeah,
something like
yeah,
that.
yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah, definitely with Halloween approaching, time to get some of those Halloween games going. So that'll be fun the next couple of weeks for sure.
That's right. You can be a
Um
ghost, and they can fire the balls at the ghost, right?
exa exactly. You could be like Frankenstein and you'd be doing a Frankenstein walk around site. Yeah, exactly, exactly. All right. Well, that was awesome. So let's jump into our fourth question. We got two more questions to go here. Um, this one is specifically focused at our coaches here. So, in your experience, what are some mistakes that new coaches make when working with young kids, and how can they fix them?
Ooh, yeah, I would say that a common mistake is taking too long to explain things, letting your voice be the teacher as opposed to showing them how to do things. I mean, you're going to have to explain it a little bit. Okay, we're going to do this, but then just get right into showing them and then
Yeah,
get them into doing it. So, I would say that's common. I don't want to say it's a mistake. You generally will learn that
hmm
as you go. And if I wish I had a nickel for it. Learn the kid, learn their names. I think that's,
yeah,
I would argue that's, you're going to forget sometime, but learn their names as fast as you can, do whatever it takes. If you need name tags, that's going to help you. But
for sure.
I would say that, and you just make your session as active as possible.
That's the one I was thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
make it as active as possible. Resist the urge to coach them like it's a U15 team. Um, but get them moving and then look for those teachable moments in the middle of something, right? So if it's in a scrimmage and it keeps going off of Soccer Island, that's your teachable moment. And then you can stop and say, how can we keep the ball on Soccer Island? You could do a pullback, but at least they're playing, right? So
Yeah.
rather than start, okay, during the scrimmage, ask them 5 questions, how they just want to play. So let them
Yeah,
play
they
and
just
then
wanna they just wanna
play.
play.
Yeah.
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 No, I agree. I think one thing that I've just noticed from watching new coaches myself is um sometimes there's just a lot of dead time and can be some poor transitions as well from like one thing to another. Like for me, if I need time to set up a game or something, obviously you can take a water break. You can, what I like to do sometimes is maybe with like older classic kids, or I'll have them be like, all right, who can do 20 toe touches right now? And I'll be like setting up cones or setting up our next game, and they'll be counting doing 20 toe touches, or rather than them just standing there
Right.
while I'm setting up the game, just some
Yeah.
dead
That's a good
time.
one.
Like just kind of
That's a good
like
one.
I think new coaches just find those tips and tricks to fill and make sure the kids are always active, because then
Always that.
their
Yeah.
minds are going to start wandering. They're going to get bored so quickly. Like you just got to be active with them the whole time. Um,
That's
so
a great
yeah,
idea.
I would
I
say
hadn't done that
that.
one, but yeah, but keep them occupied. And, it's like being a parent. So just keeping them occupied and busy
Yeah.
as much as
Yep.
possible. And yeah, I find myself buying time a lot. Okay, I got to set up for this game. What can I do to buy a few minutes? Toe
Yeah.
touches might be one. I just need to set up my cones. Those kinds of things. But yeah, that's a great idea. I think transitions are the hardest for newer coaches, moving from one to the other,
For sure.
trying to get it right too much. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. And, sometimes the questions a lot of times in a group will answer themselves, whether or not it's right or wrong. You're not going to know whether a game works until they get a chance to do it. So just give it a shot.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah, I would also say I think um ooh, I lost my train of thought. What was I gonna say there? We said transitions, dead time, uh oh, pacing. That's what I was gonna say. Okay, like I think coaches, newer coaches, just get so worried about like the pacing and flow of the session. Like I know we've had coaches who, they've done like a 10 or 15-minute warm up, and there's been no soccer ball, and it's like, it's a bit of a problem. Like, got to get the soccer ball out. And they get so worried about trying to make everything fit into like a 5 to 10 minute win. Like it's okay if like I think newer coaches need to know that, like, listen, if you do like a 1 or 2 minute warm up and then you get the soccer balls out right away, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like that's okay. Like if you like if your skill review is a little quicker than you thought, that's okay too. You go right into the fun game. You can do more than one round of whatever game you're doing, um, and then you can, if you need to fill in time, you can always score an extra goal. I think coaches just get a little too, and I think that's just something with reps, and that they would learn over time. But again, nobody knows what you're gonna do at each session, only you do. So
Right.
if you got to fill in time with other stuff because something else went too slow or too fast, that's okay. So
Yeah, exactly. Um, it's, I would say in terms of timing, that is a hard thing.
it
Like
is
I forgot,
hard. It is
I
hard.
forgot my watch the other day, but yeah, I've done it so many times. I
Yeah,
kind
you
of
just
laughed at myself.
know.
I looked at my phone. I said, "Oh my gosh, that session was right on time."
Yeah,
But
same, same.
I'd say when I started, I almost work backwards and ask yourself, how much time do I want to leave for the scrimmage? And so
That's
if you
true
got like a
too.
40
That
minute,
is how
all
I
right.
think about it.
So
Yeah.
then you got 30 minutes or 25 minutes to do the other stuff. That'll make you go through
Right.
there quick because the
Right.
scrimmage takes a little bit of time, right? It takes, you get,
Yeah.
especially, you got to set them up. You got to create the teams
Give them
and
the
you want them to
pennies.
play.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I would say, yeah, in my head, I always say, all right, if the session ends at 3 o'clock, I want to start the scrimmage by quarter of, at least
Right.
start getting ready for it. So that means dividing the teams, going to take a minute, getting them started. So the actual scrimmage might only be 10 minutes, and then you got to end it and call them in. So
Yep.
then everything else is going to take. I'm like, oh God, oh man, I got to move on. I got to move, got to move, got to move.
Yeah.
That was the biggest help for me because there would be when I first started, there'd be times, oh, I got 5 minutes. I'm supposed to do a scrimmage here, and then divide the thing because I spent too long on the other things.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And again, I think it's just, I think all new coaches just, they're gonna have to go through, it's trial and error,
Trial and error.
honestly.
Yep.
And they'll get used to it. But we just want to give our coaches some tips and tricks on how to maybe help with that, and hopefully what we just gave them will, if they're listening, will help with that. So
Yeah,
um,
and I'd say one more thing about the scrimmages because I would
yeah,
say if you've got like 9, 10 kids, don't be afraid to make 3 teams and just rotate them really, really fast. Lions, Tigers first,
yeah,
Lions on, Tigers off. The kids get so many more touches. It's less overwhelming for them. They're tired by the end of the session anyway, and give them a job. Give them that cheering job. All right, team.
yeah,
I did this on Sunday where one team was just on the sideline. They were the cheers. They sat there, but I also had these cowbells. I had a tambourine, so they were the instruments. So it
yeah,
didn't have to be me, but I have a toolkit full of kid stuff. They're ringing the bells, and they've got to say, "Let's play soccer," and
yeah,
then then you rotate them around. And it makes the scrimmage a lot easier.
for
So don't
sure.
be afraid to go 3 teams, especially in our public programs when. Uh, but 6-on-6, I've seen coaches do that. It's just not going to work. It's
Nah,
just
nah.
make it happen.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah, I've had groups with 15 kids before, and I've had to split them up into like 5, 5, 5, or
Yeah,
even if I have an assistant coach with me, maybe I'll even do 4 groups. And yeah,
yeah.
it's
Just
happened before, and you just rotate really quickly. You leave enough time for it, and it'll all work out in the end.
it's an
It's
important
dependent on
lesson.
the
Yeah,
it's depend,
even when you're
depend
not on the field, it's very important you cheer for those that are on the fields.
Exactly. Yeah. You give the kids off the field something to do. Yeah. Exactly. It's dependent on your group size and your group, but yeah,
And
it's
the funniest thing I ever did with that, I remember these kids. You know how if you go to a pro game, they're all they're skipping and their arms are up like
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah,
So I
yeah.
had these kids just going up, all right, you got to skip up and down until it's your turn to play. And I was kind of doing it for them. It was absolute riot. They were having this almost a skipping contest while they were waiting up, but they were warming up for the next game.
That's
Um,
awesome. Yeah, that's so cool. Awesome. So, that was great. Hopefully, those um, we were able to provide you coaches with some helpful advice there to help you with your next time on Soccer Island. So let's get into our last question here. Um, just something real quick here. If you could give one piece of advice to every coach about making sessions both fun and effective, what would it be? What would be that one thing that you would tell
uh, Boy, smile a lot. Smile, have high fives, and just know what you're gonna do and make that would be. I guess that's two things, but smile and know what you're
them?
gonna do. That's gonna help you along the way. And all in that is just relax. We've talked a
Yep.
lot about tools here and keeping things moving. But you asked for one, so I'm just gonna say,
That's okay. You could give them
smile,
another.
act like you want to be there. You're excited to see
Yeah.
them. That's gonna help you a lot.
Yeah. My piece of advice is very similar. For me it's just match their energy. Match the
That's their
energy.
energy.
They're gonna be super excited. Maybe the first week they might be a little shy, so you might have to break them out of their comfort zone, and so you're gonna have to be super silly, get them laughing, get them smiling, get them happy, and just match their energy, be fun and goofy with them, and yeah, just obviously make it fun for them, but make it fun for yourself. Like we want the coaches to have just as much fun out there as the kids. So, and I'm gonna add on to what you said too. Just relax, enjoy it. It's fun. Have a good time. Don't stress too much over the curriculum. If you mess up, it's okay. Nobody's gonna know. You're the only one, so it's fine. And yeah, just keep it fun, man. Keep it fun.
Yeah.
Um,
Slide
so
on your belly, do crazy dance, show them what you got.
exactly. Do some silly
Uh,
celebrations.
and a
Exactly.
couple of coaches I filled in, and you know who you are. You're giving out multiple stamps. And if I had to cover for you, and I just want you to know, Coach Brad. Brad always gives us two stamps. I'm only give one. So,
I'm not gonna lie. I'm guilty of that myself. I'm a two stamper.
I tell you, maybe I'm old school. I just ask him, what do I look like? The stamp factory? And so yeah, I taught him how to make
Yeah,
two
the
stamps.
little. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
No.
just because every coach is different um, in terms of that, and I think I try to make every single thing I do there fun, every single thing I do, and
Yeah.
so whether that's going to get a water break, how can you make that fun? Every good game. So if you can do that, I mean, you're playing soccer with a bunch of little kids on a sunny day. The weather's been phenomenal.
Yep.
Have fun. I mean, that's a great thing. It's a great thing. So.
I agree. Well, that's all the questions we have. That is awesome. And to end off, Shannon, you already know I'm going to ask you, how can our listeners find more information or get involved with Soccer Shots?
Yeah, go to our website, soccershots.com. You can also find us on YouTube. You can find this great podcast on YouTube. You can find all of our episodes there. Uh,
Yes.
and you can send us an email, ct@soccershots.com, if you want more information or know a place where we can do soccer shots. We'd love to do it anywhere if you want to come see it. So we're pretty much everywhere, man. We are everywhere.
Exactly. Awesome. Well, Shannon, this was fun. I had a lot of fun with this topic today on our eighth episode. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the next one. So I hope the audience, I hope our coaches enjoyed this one. Hope they can use some of those tips and tricks we gave them out on Soccer Island. Um, Parents or others, if you were watching, you got a little insight there on kind of what we do to help engage your kids in the
Yeah.
best way.
They're learning how we make the sausage, which is not always what you want to see.
Exactly. Yes, yes. So, soccer fans, Thank you so much for watching. We hope you guys enjoyed the 8th episode of the Soccer Shots Greater Hartford, Central Connecticut podcast. If you liked the video, please give it a like, comment what soccer related topics you would like us to talk about next. And most importantly, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. This is Seth and Shannon signing off. And remember to always enjoy the beautiful game.
No!